Oh, Sharad, he looks so sad.
I'm fuming,
Talk.
mate. I'm fuming. I don't like it when they lose, man. Like
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sticky Wicket Podcast. Once again, we're before we get going, I'd like to say Happy New Year to everybody. Happy Christmas and all that, guys. How are you doing? Happy New Year's, by the way.
yeah, man.
Happy New Year, lads.
Yeah. So I know we're two people light today. We usually have four, but Piyush and Shane couldn't join us today because their Piyush is still emotionally hurt. But to continue on that emotional hurtness, or I don't know,
But
emotional wound,
uh,
let's
Yeah.
talk about India and Australia series, boys. So, Sharad, let's go to you first. What's your overall view of the India's tour of Australia?
um, I think the first test match was terrible. Obviously, being like bowled out for 36 or whatever. And I think there were some good moments in the test match, but at the end of the day, like to be bowled out for 36 like that is embarrassing. But they bounced back like really well in the second test. Surprisingly, I thought from here it was going to be a whitewash. So I'm quite surprised that they've come back in that second test match, played really well. I think like bowled really well, batted really well, and I don't know. I think injuries are kind of gonna kill us off. I think in these last two test matches, I'm not a big fan of who's been picked in terms of bowling, but you know, who knows? I think being bowled out today for like 244, I think it was.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that's not that's not going to help. I think Australia now. Steve Smith obviously got his form back. Labuschagne's got his form back. That's it. Once those two guys are firing, it's like they could put on about 400, 450 as a target, and then that's it. Like test match done. So
Yeah, it's Smith City, isn't it?
yeah, so I think it's yeah. I mean, I don't know. And the only thing that's maybe going to save them in the test match is like rain.
At this time
That
of
that
the
ain't
year,
that ain't
Australian rain.
that
It,
ain't
I
it,
don't
could,
coming,
think.
it
man.
could
That
be
ain't coming.
it could be the trophy going back to Australia. But you know, I guess I'm not too sad about it. I think like there are a lot of injuries. And that's that we're not like kind of full strength in terms of bowling or even batting, I guess as well. So um, and in this test match, I think Australia just they played better, or like, at least two or three players have played better in terms of batting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why do you guys think what happened between the last test and this test where India completely kind of got Australia by the scruff and won that match? Like at the second innings, India was chasing only 70 runs.
Yeah. I
And
think the
to
second match was yeah. The second match was really like India played really, really well in spite of injuries. I would have a little positive light on it than Sharad, I think, because I think other than the 36 all out innings, I think India played really well.
Yeah, yeah,
First two
I do
test
agree.
matches
Yeah,
all the days.
yeah,
Yeah, just 36. I know it's embarrassing. It was really,
yeah,
really, really bad. No team should get out for 36, whatever happens. And it was the pitch was doing absolutely nothing. I don't know why they got out. But I think they won more sessions. Second test, they played really well. Third, they're really being unlucky here. If Jadeja goes out, I think that's it because he was the only player that was playing international level cricket. And weaknesses have been exposed, like Sani going at five and over in a test match.
yeah. Don't even get me started on that.
Saying that, but Bhuvneshwar Kumar is not playing. Ishan Sharma is out. Umesh Yadav got out. Like it's difficult for one bowler like Bumrah to do everything. I was really
Siraj is
surprised.
doing really well.
Yeah, Siraj is doing really
Yeah,
well. I did not expect him to do that well, but he's bowling really good areas,
yeah.
trying to get wickets. Yeah, Sani is not a test bowler. I wasn't expecting him to do really well. So yeah, what happened is this pitch is much more of a it has less for the spinners. And the last test match, we Ashwin was lethal.
Mm.
Here he's lacking luster. So I think we are not a complete side at all. So number
Yeah.
one, and Yeah.
No, I think
Lads, you,
first Test match did have like we did actually bowl really well in that first innings,
Yeah. Yeah.
really well, and I
Yeah.
think like batting wise, the first innings we weren't too bad.
Yeah.
I do think like Golly kind of drove it quite a bit in that first innings,
Yeah.
but this like yeah, I think if we could have batted better in that second innings and put on a total, I think we could have done well
Yeah.
against.
We could have done well. Yeah.
But
36 is like nothing. It's following on
yeah,
scoring series.
to be honest, I don't really know what happened there, but you got to just put it down to Australia just bowled really well.
Really well. Yeah.
And yeah,
lads, you actually sound like you're heartbroken. Like, there is no excitement. India made a comeback. It's only, what is it, day three? This could be a draw, but you guys sound like you're
I don't.
no,
emotionally
I don't think it's being a
not
draw.
there
I
at
don't think
all.
it's being a
I don't
draw.
think you can call it a draw because it's day three
Yeah.
and we're already on the third innings, right? Which
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
that Australia can put a massive total on by the end of
Yeah.
like by like midday, day four, right?
They're
And
already 197 runs ahead, like
yeah,
197 already,
and
with Smith and Labuschagne batting.
especially because the way I guess the way India batted in this Test match, like they're not looking like they can chase down the total. They have to really defend, but I can't see them like kind of defending. I know it sounds negative, but I mean this is going off of India in the past Test
But
matches that we've seen.
Yeah, it would be
before.
difficult to bat last on this pitch anyway. I don't think
but it's Sydney. Do you think India should have gone like with just one spinner and they should have tried to play another extra quick bowler? Because like Sydney is traditionally quick ground. That's where like Australians always do
But
damage.
I mean, if you look at the pitch, it is quite dull. Like, I mean, there's
Yeah,
nothing really there for
yeah,
bowling.
but I think Jadeja and Ashwin was the right way to go. Who would you play? Because Jadeja had quite an impact on this game. He can bat. He bowls really well. He bowled really well in the last innings as well. So
I
if you
mean,
would take one more
yeah,
quick bowler,
it's
who would you play?
it's kind of like saying, would you drop Ashwin from like in this Test match because you can't.
Yeah,
He bowled really
No,
well.
no, no. I'm not saying Ashwin, but like I'm just saying maybe would there be a chance to like bring somebody into the tour and play and
Well, I
even
mean,
well
what the one thing you do is you take out Saini because he's useless, right?
yeah,
And you bring in. I mean, again, we don't have any bowlers like front line bowlers that are fit at the moment. So the
yeah,
only other person that you can bring in is someone else who's going to basically have their debut. Which
yeah.
can you say they would have made a difference either? I don't think so.
Well, one
well
debate was Natarajan versus Saini. So that was a debate. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
which
that's
side are you
literally
putting.
what I was gonna say right now, Sahil.
Yeah,
Like, would you bring
yeah,
Natranjan in? He's a bit older. He's played a lot of first class cricket. He's got a lot of red ball experience. Maybe not at international level, but he's experienced and he's pretty good at
yeah.
picking his
But
spots.
yeah, before this match started, now in retrospect, we can say we could have tried Natarajan. But before this match started, I was kind of he has less average than the one we are playing, Sani. Sani is a better bowler in first class cricket. I know we hate it right now, but before, if you compare stats in first class, Sani has been better than Natarajan in red ball. Yes, there was one opinion where because he's a left armer, he would cause a little more problems because all of our bowlers are right hand right now. That was a good point. So I don't know. It could be a gamble. Could work.
I mean
But
it's tough. I mean I'm a bit biased because I mean I don't like him, but but I think you can't go for 4.5 and over in a Test match. You can't
Yeah,
go for four
yeah,
and over in a Test match. It's just like it's criminal. I mean he went
mm,
for the same amount of runs as Bumrah, and Bumrah bowled about 15 more overs than him.
yeah,
um,
It's criminal. You
Bumrah
can't, like
Bumrah bowled 12.4 more overs than Sani, and Bumrah gave only one extra run, got two
yeah,
wickets. Well, Sani got two wickets as well, but
yeah,
Bumrah had
yeah,
seven maidens.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean he's leaking a lot of runs, and you can't
yeah.
do that in a Test
And
match.
that's not good on this wicket. Yeah, yeah,
I mean, in general, in Test matches, you can't be going for over four and over really, because um,
No, like if you look at other Indian bowlers, Bumrah had econ of 2.57, Sharaj had 2.68.
Mm.
Ashwin is on 3.08, and Jadeja is 3.44. So Sani's the only one who seems to be over 4.
Yeah.
And for a test match in Sydney, if you're going 5 runs per over, you're leaking
Yeah,
a lot of runs.
it's not only over 4. If you see the deliveries, if you go over 4 and take 3 wickets, it's nice because you're trying to get wickets. What Siraj seems to be doing, but what Saini seems to be doing is bowling it short and wide
Yeah.
to Labuschagne, who is never gonna let it go. And in a test match where Pujara is struggling, like Pujara is very slow to make runs, or number 3, whereas their number 3 and number 4 are getting freebies to score fours off. So
Yeah.
Well, in
That's
this test match, sorry, Sharad, just
sorry.
before you go. So
yeah,
in this test match, they have the Labashane and Steve Smith has already scored more than 220 runs.
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, and they've batted only 1 innings, and they're on crease right now. And you also have
And
to remember,
credits Punt, isn't it? Credits Punt. He dropped two catches.
Yeah.
Was it first innings? Was it? Jesus, he's bad.
Well,
He's really bad.
Seni's for me personally, I mean, okay, yeah, you can bowl well at first class cricket, but it's a whole
Yeah,
different ball game at international, right? And I think he's just the type of bowler that offers nothing. He hasn't got much pace, hasn't got much movement with the ball, and so he doesn't really offer anything. I mean,
yeah,
and especially if you're going to be bowling half trackers on a pitch like this, you're going to get hit.
yeah.
Labuschagne and Smith, they're gonna punish you. I mean, and you can see it's happening. It's unfortunate because obviously Ashwin hasn't bowled well, and I guess it's just not the pitch for him, right? But
Yeah,
it's just one of those things. But Saini, I mean, you can't. Again, like I said, you can't be bowling, half trackers and bowling slow
yeah,
to these kind of batsmen because they're going to punish you. Like it's just
yeah.
this is the big team, they're and
Even
they're
if you're not a wicket taking bowler, even if you can't move the ball, even if you don't have swing inbuilt in you, I think it's your responsibility to give the chance to the other bowler to take wickets by at least stopping runs and just bowling stock deliveries back of the length. Hazelwood does it all the time.
yeah.
Not every time he takes wickets, but for 6 or 7 overs he doesn't leak any runs, which makes
Yeah.
double pressure for the other bowlers. And Pat Cummins chips away at the other end, isn't it?
Or
So it's
like
partnership.
Finney's first spell in the first innings was I think it was 7 overs. I can't remember how many runs he went for, but it was 7 overs, and he went for 4.57 and over,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is crazy. I mean, that's like ODI kind of
yeah.
bowling that you
Averages.
should be going for
Yeah.
that in ODI or something. But
man,
yeah,
people have lower econs than ODIs.
well, that's it. Like some people do, and yeah, it's unfortunate because again, like I said, we don't have our frontline bowlers. I mean, even Siraj wouldn't be bowling, if our frontline bowlers were here.
Yeah, yeah,
But
you're right.
again, you can't blame it on injuries. At the end of the day, injuries happen, and you need
Yeah,
the backup to be able to deal with that. So you can't make an excuse of injuries. At the end of the day, like they're international players, they have to be able to, you know, people have to be able to come in and do a good job. So you can't blame the if there is going to be a loss or whatever it is, you can't blame it on injuries. I mean, it's just one of those things. But um,
and do you guys see for the next test match him being replaced with Natarajan then? We've tried him, we've given him a pair shot, we don't see anything happening. So
guess it depends on how the BCCI feel, isn't it?
Listen, man, I don't want to
yeah,
be the team selector for the Indian team right now. It just doesn't seem like a nice place to be. There's just all these different moving pieces that's going around, and nobody's been able to figure out the right combinations. That's
yeah.
basically what's happening with the team, man. And so, lads, before we move on to our next topic, do you guys back India to survive this test, even get a draw out of it? Do you think if Australia bats 4 days, day 4 when they come in, they get runs? Do you back India to survive the final day and get a draw?
No, I
No,
think this test match is gone. But I still think India can draw the series. I
I
don't know. I'm hopeful.
yeah, I mean, for me, it's they. I don't think they can like defend a total in this test match.
But they
and
have to chase in this test match, though.
they have to
Yeah,
play.
but
I
they
don't
can't.
think they can
Yeah.
defend the kind of draw. Because what
Okay.
Australia, like, Australia obviously going to bat on now and probably get like 400, 450
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they lose this test match, I think there's no point because they lost the trophy anyway. So I mean, even the next test match, yeah, it's a
Have
consolation,
they?
but
Have they? They
yeah,
haven't because it's 2-1, and if they do 2-2, we retain the trophy, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
No,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. Because we have the
currently it's
trophy.
1-1
We have
right
the
now.
trophy. Yeah.
Currently it's 1-1 right now.
It's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if Australia wins this, Australia go
Yeah.
up 2-1.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah. Well, again, like it depends on the pitch for the next test match, and then
Yeah. For
who
the
comes
next,
in.
where are we playing? Who wins the toss? Many factors.
Yeah.
But I think the championship points we can say goodbye. I don't think India will be winning the Test championship. I think New Zealand and England and Australia, they're all very, very strong.
Yeah. At the moment, they're a lot more like stronger sides
Yeah.
out there.
And the final is in Lords, right? Is in England. So India never
Yeah.
done well.
What is like just on the injuries kind of like is it KL Rahul is injured, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
how
He's
does that
injured as
even
well.
happen? Like it's just crazy. I mean, he hasn't
dude,
played.
they overplayed him. They overplayed him in that T20 series and that ODI series. They didn't get a
No,
keeper.
but this is the thing. Like, okay, I'm not going to start it with the whole, but the it's the schedule, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I know, man.
they played a lot of IPL before this, so they haven't had any rest. And I guess
Yeah.
again, it goes down to priorities of: are you going to look after your international players, or are you just going to let them play so much cricket that they're burnt out in the big games against the big teams in the international scene? Like, I think you have to look at priorities on that sense as well. And I think that's
Yeah.
why we have so many injuries. Like, look how much
But
they're playing. Like, it's crazy.
do you not think they could have just like made KL Rahul not keep, given him that bit of buffer time between games? Just use him as a specialist batsman, and then he's a pretty good fielder. You bring a specialist keeper in, you are using your full squad. You're also giving the players a bit of rest. Like,
Don't know. I think in a big competition, in a big test series, like big series like this, you have to have your big players, and at the end of the day, you have to look after them before the series. If you're not
Yeah.
doing that, then there's no reason for an international player like to be lacking fitness at the end of the day, right? But if you burn them out, that's what's going to happen. I mean, you can see it in football at the moment. Like they're burning out because they're playing so much. But it's the similar like principle. At the end of the day, like you have to be looking after the players, and I don't think India do that because obviously they want them to play in the big IPL and go burn yourself out, play every game because we need you, and we've
oh,
paid a lot of money for you, so you have to play. And then when it comes to a series like this, they don't really care, and I think that's the big issue. But that's up to BCCI and their money hungry. Men
taking
do
that
whatever.
money,
Before
yeah.
before Sharad goes on an IPL rant.
Yeah. Or BCCI rant.
BCCI rant.
It's crazy. But I think yeah, like I
Oh,
said, you can't blame it on injuries. I mean, if we start making excuses, it sounds pathetic. So they haven't performed, but they did well in the last Test match. I think we've yeah. I think what can you do? I mean, it's
oh, Sharad, he looks so sad.
I'm fuming.
Oh,
Mate. I'm fuming. I don't like it when they lose, man. Like it's just yeah. But the more so I don't like it when they pick when they pick players that I don't think are good enough. Like Viharia, he's just useless. He's literally useless. Like he's just not good. I don't think. And
Yeah.
So, lads, are we back in India to survive the day 5 if they make it to day 5?
Is the day 4 starting right now? Yeah, I think it will be over on day 4.
Yeah, Sharad.
Yeah.
I think it'll be over by okay. That means they're going to get
Good.
bowled out for very cheap.
Another 36 on the cards,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Vihari is a walking duck anyway. Um,
Uh,
no, I mean, yeah, I think it could be, yeah, I don't know, either or. It's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a win anyway. So, not a win, but I don't think it's going to be a draw. So,